when night after night I encounter those the world calls dead, and they're not dead at all. The Satan of Scripture is simply the body of doubt that seems but is not. Now we'll share with you now an experience of mine of last Sunday morning, to show you this thing really is a play. This whole thing is a play. And the dreamer is really playing all the parts. And that dreamer is one. And you will say, could he be love? He is infinite love. He never changes his love for you. He sleeps the sleep of death till the man that he loves is revealed as himself, who is God. And yet in that interval, to get you to actually awake and know there is only one Father, and you are the Father, the cause of the phenomena of life. I'll show you how he does it. Last Sunday morning, about, I would say, 1:30, I woke, and I said to myself, oh, let us have something wonderful tonight, a revelation, a real revelation, something to share with those who come, something to tell them, not to encourage them falsely, but to tell them the truth. Give me something deep, something big tonight. And then I fell asleep. I woke at 6:15. And this was that which preceded the waking experience. The most horrible drama you have ever heard of. Intrigue, deceit, betrayal, you name it. It was all part of that drama. Though the net began to draw in, at first I didn't realize that I was the object of this net being closed in. The men came seeking my help, and I gave them help. They asked me to shelter them, that they were simply not guilty of what they were accused of doing. Well, I believed them, and I sheltered them, hid them in my home, and this whole thing was a plot by the government. And these people that I trusted and believed their story, they were part of the plot to get me to shelter them, to get me to give them hospitality, to show it that I could be intimidated by my, well, love of them or friendship for them. Only in the very end of the experience, I suddenly began inwardly to laugh. I realized it was a play. That not one thing could have been different. It could not have been different. The whole thing was a play. And standing there in my own home, realizing it was a play, when the play came to an end and all these characters, then came a scroll before my face in bold, large script. And this is what it said. The end of the play is self in self and risen. That's the end of the play. When the one that is sent is brought back to the sender, and self in self, the two become one and risen. And then the curtain came down. That was the play. I tell you, this is a play. And you are sent into this world where everything dies. And today's generation, called the new generation, they have no concept that they too will reach the age of 70. It never occurred to me when I was 10 that anything over 20 was young. I never knew my mother as a young woman, and yet my mother was my mother when she was in her 20s. I say it's a play, the most glorious, horrible play in the world. But these are signs I will share with you now. When you are coming to the end of the play, before the birth from above, before you are raised from the dead within your own skull, for that's the grave in which God is buried. Before these happen, there will be signs. God is a protean being. And when I say God, I mean your own wonderful human imagination. That's God. That's the Lord Jehovah. That is a protean being. By protean, I mean one capable of assuming any form, any face, any shape that suits its purpose.